So, Microsoft just dropped this new study, and honestly, it's pretty surprising. It maps out which jobs are most likely to be impacted by AI and which ones are looking remarkably safe. Let's dive in and see what this new scorecard means for your future.
This is the big question, right? The one everyone's asking. Whether you're a writer, a developer, or a roofer, this new data gives us one of the clearest pictures yet of where things are actually heading. So let's find out if your job is on the list.
Okay, but before we get to the lists, we got to talk about where this data comes from, because this isn't just some random opinion piece. Researchers looked at over 200,000 anonymous conversations with Microsoft's AI Copilot to see how well it could actually perform real-world work from start to finish. And the results are, well, they're fascinating.
All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off. First up, the jobs that the study says are the most vulnerable. And you're going to see they all share one huge common theme. They pretty much exist entirely in the digital world. So, how do they rank these jobs? They came up with something called an AI applicability score. And here's the key. This isn't about whether AI can just help you with a task. No, it measures how likely it is that an AI can handle the entire job from beginning to end and have the user be happy with it. So, a higher score means a higher risk. So what's the common thread that connects all these at-risk jobs? It's not about how much you're paid or how fancy your job title is. The pattern is just crystal clear. If your work is mainly about communication, playing with language, or dealing with structured data on a computer, you're in the crosshairs. Okay, so this first group, yeah, this is probably the one that surprises nobody, right? The core tech behind AI, the transformer model, was literally invented for language translation. So it makes sense that roles like translators, writers, and customer service reps, jobs that are all about generating and understanding text, are at the top of the list. But this is where it starts to get a little wild. We're talking about jobs we always thought needed a deep human touch for analyses. Historians, journalists, even data scientists. Their whole job is to synthesize massive amounts of information and then report on it. Well, AI can now do that at a speed and scale that no human could ever hope to match. And that brings us to maybe the biggest bombshell on this whole list: web developers. For decades, the mantra has been learn to code, that it was the safest career path out there. But when you get right down to it, code is just a really structured language that you write for a computer. And AI is getting incredibly good at speaking that language. And look, the source we're pulling from puts this in really stark terms. When you have giants like OpenAI and Meta pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into cracking automated code generation, how can an individual developer compete on that skill alone? It's a tough pill to swallow, for sure, but it's about realizing the sheer scale of the forces at play here. Okay, so if all that digital stuff is on shaky ground, where are the safe jobs? The answer is, well, it's the complete opposite. It's the physical world. Let's look at the jobs that AI, at least for now, just can't get its hands on. And this right here, this is the big takeaway from the whole thing. The real dividing line isn't white collar versus blue collar anymore. It's between jobs that move bits and bytes around on a screen and jobs that move actual atoms around in the real world. One of those is becoming super easy for AI to copy, and the other one, not so much. So why is the physical world so safe? Well, this first group of jobs says it all. These roles are all about human touch, about trust, and about fine-tuned dexterity. I mean, think about it. Would you really trust a robot to draw your blood or give you a massage? For most people, that's a hard no. There's a level of physical skill and empathy here that AI is just nowhere close to touching. Then you've got the folks who literally build and maintain the world around us. Every single roofing job is different. Every pothole is unique. Every repair is unpredictable. These jobs require hands-on skill in messy, unstructured places, which is the exact opposite of what today's AI and robots are good at. And you gotta love the irony here, right? For decades, a lot of these jobs were kind of looked down on, and yet now, something like washing dishes or changing a tire is proving to be incredibly secure, just because it's so darn hard to automate in a way that actually makes economic sense. This could actually trigger a huge cultural shift in how we think about work. The source material suggests this might bring back a dignity of labor that we've kind of lost. It's simple economics, right? As the supply of digital work becomes nearly infinite thanks to AI, the demand for scarce, skilled physical labor is just going to go up. So that begs the question, how did we get it in our heads that digital jobs were the cool ones, the better ones? The source has a really simple, kind of brilliant theory.
The people who had digital jobs, the coders, the writers, the marketers, they were the ones controlling the narrative online. They were on the blogs, on social media, telling the stories that made their own work seem like the most important thing in the world. Okay, so with all this change, what are we supposed to do? How do you adapt? Because make no mistake, the rules of the game are changing for everybody, whether your job is on the at-risk list or not. If you want to survive and thrive in this new world, you have to get this one single critical idea. For a long, long time, our careers have been all about inputs, the skills you had, the programming languages you knew, the certificates on your wall. That era is coming to a close.
Let me break it down for you. The old question was, what can you do? I know Python, or I can write articles. The new question is, what have you done? I built this app, or I ran this successful campaign. AI is going to handle the inputs, writing the code, drafting the article. The real human value is in delivering the final outcome.
So your survival strategy really comes down to three things. Three big shifts in how you think. First, just accept that your value is based on simple economics, not your job title. Second, you have to shift your focus entirely from the skills you have to the results you can produce. And third, you need to become what the source calls a synthesizer. So what on earth is a synthesizer? Well, the best way to think about it is like a company executive. A good CEO's job isn't to be the best coder or the best marketer in the company, right? Their job is to pull all the different pieces together, the people, the tech, the budget, the deadlines, to actually achieve a goal. It's about managing the whole process to deliver an outcome. And this is where it all leads. As AI starts handling more and more of the inputs, it basically forces all of us to start thinking like entrepreneurs. You become responsible not for just doing a task, but for managing a whole set of resources, including AI, to create a valuable output. So I'll leave you with this one question, and it's probably the most important one to ask yourself right now. In this new world, are you building a career based on the skills you have, which, as we've seen, can be replicated by a machine? Or are you building it based on the results you can deliver, which is and will remain a uniquely human thing to do? The answer to that is going to define everything.